we are quick in our hopes to seek an outside source, an outside way to make us feel better. And it's understandable. A change of scenery is often going to make our whole mood change immediately. But how come not many of us often recur to the option of within? Why don't we shelter within, to the place that is untangible from the outside? For only our opinion can affect it. The outside world, the outside people, nothing that ever happens to us has the force or the power to access our inside. Only our opinion of things. And now you may be discouraged by people, you may be hurt, you may be annoyed, but think about it in two ways. Either there is divine providence, meaning a God, therefore heaven and hell, or there is just atoms. But for neither of the two choices that you would choose for yourself, it's really a significant impact. Because why are you then discontent with the behavior of another person? For if they do wrong involuntarily, because they're not actually bad people, they just don't know better, then endurance then is part of justice, and to forgive and be patient. But however, if they do harm intentionally, then to themselves they do it. Likewise, we mustn't retreat into other things, and the retreat, if you take a broader aspect, is not only about the scenery, it could be about your actual consciousness. So you want to get your mind distracted from the thing, that's what you want to get, away from society and away from people. So if you think about it, likewise, when you're consuming a lot of content or you're scrolling mindlessly on shorts, this is a way for you to retreat. Retreat your consciousness into another place in which you don't have to think about those things. So I repeat again, why don't retreat within yourself instead of on those things? Because you know how these things are affecting you. Your attention span gets worse, it makes you more erratic, more impatient, it makes you exposed to what other people are doing, and you start comparing yourself, which takes the joy away from life. Perhaps you start desiring for things like fame, and you forget the boundless time which has engulfed the greater names before us and will undoubtedly engulf the names of now. All of these empty applauses that are happening now, they will be forgotten. Perhaps somebody that you know is going through some issues. Where will those issues be in 10,000 years? And is 10,000 years a long time for the existence of the whole, of the one that we are and that we return to? Okay, you may think so. I'm only experiencing the now, so how does that affect me? Well, that's a good point. You're experiencing the now, aren't you? So why don't you retreat into yourself when you are in times of disturbance, in times of hurt? Retreat into yourself, see what's wrong, realize the grand scheme of things, let go of that pain. Tranquility is nothing else than the good ordering of the mind. And there's no place where a person could retire with more quiet, with more freedom than within their own soul. We look at the city, we look at the country, we look at the continent and then the world, the planet. We look at the cosmos, we look at the entire universe. We are but a dot, of course, and there's just even more infinity beyond that. However, you have a territory of your own, a territory that arguably is of intelligence property and therefore lives outside of all of that. That is inside here and inside here. And this is your territory, where nobody has access. Nobody and nothing but your opinion. If something is disturbing you, take away your opinion from it, and the complaint will go away with it. For example, I have been harmed. You take away the complaint, I have been harmed, and there you go. The harm has gone. You were harmed, yes. But it's no longer there. It's not, I have been harmed and I am still grieving and it's bothering me. No, it's an object, it's a statement, right? I have been harmed. If something doesn't make you worse than you were before, neither does it affect you in your life. So for example, you were harmed. Does that make you worse than you were? No. You lose an arm. Okay, now you're worse. Maybe that's something more of a problem. But this is mostly for today's age, where a lot of our troubles come from our opinion and from our own head. Let's take, for example, my partner left me. It's painful, right? You jump into some ideas that you're not good enough, that whatever. These are opinions. You take away the opinion. My partner has left me. And that's it. It happened. It doesn't make you worse than you were. It doesn't change your life. Retreat to yourself. See the grand scheme of things. Take your opinion away, which would perturb your immovable fortress, your temple, and then you're fine. And it's a bit of a loop, because you're going to find you're okay. You're going to try to do it. You're going to try to do nothing the next time that you go through hurt, instead of going through distractions, TikTok, and then drowning your pain away. You're going to sit by yourself. Let's say that you take action. You should. Okay, good. What's going to happen now? Whenever you hear a snapping of the fingers, make sure that you fix your posture and you take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose. Enjoy the video. You're going to opinionate that you are having a bad time. that you are stuck with this pain now, instead of letting go. And of course, this is very complicated as a principle that I'm giving out in this video actually, but little by little you will have control of your consciousness. Little by little you will, instead of jumping into conclusions, you may jump into it and say whoa, and then sit back again. For example, lately I've been going through some stress, haven't been able to focus on my projects and blah blah blah, my own private life. A lot of things have been happening. Because of this, my patience has been low. Not being in routine, not sleeping at the right times, not eating the correct things, blah blah blah, not doing my prayers, my good habits. It has made me very jumpy, and of course, you know, I used to do martial arts. I don't anymore, so it's like a lot of my stress would go away with fighting. Now I just have the gym, and it's not the same thing. So a lot of stress relievers are gone, and a lot of stresses have come. Because of this, I was a bit weak and I forgot about these teachings which I know about opinion, about the retreat into yourself. However, I redid my practices, and what happened? So, obviously the problems are still here. It's not like you realize something and boom, that's it, your whole life changes. No, if it was that easy, we would just say, be happy, and then we'd be happy. But we are not capable of doing these things. Everything that we have conditioned ourselves to be like has been conditioned. We can't just be a certain way, we have to train ourselves to be a certain way. So for me, keep these things in mind. Life is opinion, life is opinion, life is opinion. What happens? In this period in which I've been losing patience, something happens, and I get angry, aggravated. Sometimes I'm close to overpowering my foes, let's say, and just using aggressiveness or whatever, right? I know it's wrong, so I stop myself before I do it, and if I ever am to do it and to maybe intimidate my foe again with my tone or whatever, I will know I would feel terrible afterwards. It's not the correct way of doing things, it's not what I stand for, it's not why I became strong. I became strong to defend, not to attack. I'm not perfect yet, of course, I never will be, but I'm still far away from being more in perfect control of myself. So what happens is, something frustrating happens, and maybe I'd clench my fist and I'm like, and then I realized life is opinion. I've been getting better at it because I drill it into my head throughout the day whenever anything frustrating happens, whenever I feel like I might get into an argument with somebody who I love and I don't want that to happen. I know that they are important to me, that I am important to them, that we are good friends, good lovers, good family, so we shouldn't fight. So take a step back and say, okay, I care about this person. Let's see what opinion I'm about to take because of this problem which I've created really, and how maybe I could stop it. So maybe I jump like, ooh, I'm angry. But before anything significant happens, I lay back. To get to the stage where I don't actually act out. I may have this explosive amount of anger for a little fraction of a moment, but then I dissipate it. At the beginning, maybe I'd say something nasty. Maybe I then evolve from that into looking at them with crazy eyes like, my goodness, I'm going to kill you. And maybe from that I evolved into just clicking my tongue, and then from clicking my tongue I evolved into just like, cringing my eyebrows a bit like that. And that's the current stage that I am at now, right? And I'm hoping that the next one will be, I realize that I'm jumping into some conclusion, that I'm jumping into some untrained reaction of untrained emotions, and I'll stop it before I even let out a perceivable reaction, which the other person will look and be like, you're so immature or sentimental or so aggressive. Because I don't want that. That's not who I am. That's not what I want for my identity. But likewise, this is a great tool for you. Not just for anything that's making you angry, but for anything that's causing hurt in some sense. Despair, doubt, sadness, hatred, anything of the sort. You can fix that by fixing your opinion, by retreating into yourself, by retreating into this temple you have within. Think about what you fundamentally believe in and what things you want for your life. What do you value more? Maybe a relationship or your career path. In that case, perhaps your partner has broken your heart. Perhaps they're doing things that are making you hurt. Remember, this is not my priority. Neither is it my highest importance. It sucks, but if they don't feel that way towards me, then what shall I do? This is just the order of things, and there may be somebody better for them. Great. Because I love them, I will let them go, and I'll hope that they meet this person who will make them happier than I can do. And I still have the thing I care about the most. The thing that is in my control, my career, my purpose, what I love. Even if it's a hobby like research, or if it's a plan that you're not really earning money from just yet, something that you love, that you're passionate about doesn't depend on other people. That, just like your own opinion, will always be in your control. And maybe other people will stop you from physically doing something, but mentally you can always put your mind into it. Retreat into the territory that you own, the one that only you have access to. Whenever there is something that causes you problem, do not look for outside sources to help you. If you want to learn something, then of course do so, if it's not yet in your conscious mind. But if it's something like, I'm sad, right? I'm in a pinch, right? I'm feeling depressed. Normally, most people have the answers for that, right? I should socialize more, I should get out there, I should get out of my habits, do those things. Again, I have been upset, therefore I'm depressed. Take your opinion away from it. I have been upset. This does not make you worse than you were. So do not become, because of your own opinion, worse than you were. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love.